I guess it's fitting that for the first stream I do after the calendar, my fucking microphone is broken for the first 5 seconds of it. Mary Sama. Fucking... hello. I think I got 5 games left on this card. And then I might keep playing to fill out the event points, since I've got some points on me. Street Fighter 6! I am not hammered yet. We actually don't have any alcohol. Which, I know that's crazy. Frey's, fucking out of his families, so...
East 1.
We don't even have a fucking car to go get any.
The player is south.
I'd love to see some tile drawing.
Alright, so...
Let's see how
I've decided that my New Year's resolution is to play really fucking fast.
The player, one step
Y'all cool with that?
direction.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
I'm here to intimidate people with the raw speed of my play.
The player, that's progress.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
Look at that Dora.
I fucking love
wow,
East
and
1
there's
Magical
a
Sound
call.
Shower. I'm so glad that I have that. I'm not glad for what I had to do
The
to
player,
actually
2
acquire
tiles
it.
to Tempai.
This
That
is
was
the point
bad,
where skill
but,
really
you know.
factors in.
You could do a lot worse.
The player on the right continues to discard simples. The player is already 1 tile to Tempai.
This hand looks
That pair
nothing
didn't
like it
seem
did
likely
at
to
the start.
finish. 1, 2, 3. Dreams of Itsu?
Any calls on this tile?
Do I want to go into a Tanki for it?
Look at that.
Oh shit. Well, I missed my chance, but then got my chance.
There it is.
Just kidding.
The player
I
on
could have
the
changed the
right
flow.
suffers an
I could have gone into a
unexpected
Tonki weight and a
loss.
2-chance
The player
9p,
on the left
and
had a very favorable
crossed my
start.
fingers
The player
that
on the left
fucking
has a
Chimocha threw
modest
into it,
lead.
because it was safe for Kamicha.
East 1 counter. The Dora is the one of
I let the
balance.
opportunity
The
slip through my
player
fingers
is
because I
south.
don't make
The
decisions
player on
quickly
the
enough,
left
which is
is
why
in
I need to
first.
play
The player
faster.
has between 30 and 40
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
At the moment, this
7.
is anyone's game.
Dreams of
This is
Itsu
not
again?
an easy spot to work around.
Probably not, right? Maybe I should have cut the green dragon first instead of my own wind. But... oh. That definitely
The
was
player,
not a
first
correct
place,
click.
is
I was
well
just dragging my
within
mouse
strong
cursor around my
now,
tiles.
and there's
Oh
a
well.
call.
Nice game, never punished. 1, 2,
The
2, 3,
player
4,
on the
4,
right
5,
drops a
6. Welcome to fucking Bamboo Shapes. I really did not feel like I had enough
How are
independent
the
blocks for
players going
Honitsu
to
here.
approach? Any calls on this tile?
Wouldn't it be nice though?
Took a pass for now. Ah,
Yeah?
gee. The
1,000
player
points.
On the left, a
What?
very
Ooh,
swift win
okay.
off the wall.
That was a speedy finish.
Alright, sometimes you just want it more. You got it.
East 2 counters. The Dora is the 5 of dots. The player is south.
Let's see where this hand ends up going.
Alright,
The
6,
stage
6,
is
7,
set.
7.
Anything can happen.
So, eyes open for Ippei. Got that weak 9
What's
so.
going to happen to this score gap?
It could become Chitoy, honestly. Dude, Nisei, do you not know about the fucking SegaNet announcer? This guy's a fucking legend. I actually have no idea who either of these commentators are.
The player.
But, like,
Is there any way
they're
to
doing
turn
their
the
fucking
tables
jobs.
here? Draws yet another symbol.
Alright,
The player,
3 pairs.
1 step in the right direction.
And, like,
This hand is really beginning
desperate
to come together.
odds. Well, it's not that. Okay, 4 pairs now. Yeah, 4 pairs.
The player. 2 tiles to 10.
I don't want to completely abandon the
next
4,
few
5, 6
tiles
so.
could make a huge.
Any calls on this? Took a
But I'm
pass for
hanging
now.
on to that 9 so. Yeah, so
The
like
player is already 1 tile to
I think we're gonna let that
This
develop
hand
either
looks
way.
nothing like it did
What
at
the
start.
fuck?
There it is. Nietzsche.
That is a very confident reach.
Maybe Irichi on the 147 here is cowardly, but there's like value in the center of the table right now. We got fucking we got 4,000 points in the center of the table. Thank you.
I hear a roam.
That took care of that East Beach.
I'm simply blown away.
No hits.
リーチ
Yeah, 1600 plus 4000. Fucking nice game.
East 2. The Dora
I
is
thought
the
about
one
Sananko.
of
I
bands.
think if
The
there were
player
no
is
sticks, I
East.
probably would have.
The player came
What?
out ahead after a fierce exchange of fire. Now, let's watch how things develop.
Okay. Fuck it. Hey, wait a minute.
Is already one
Hey, wait.
title to Tenpai.
Wait.
It's important to find the best possible weight.
Took a pass for now.
Do I want to toss this? There are a couple different ways this could go, I think.
What's going to happen to this score gap?
Oh my god. Punishment. Punishment!
Look at that Dora.
Simply have the answer. Since there's already one.
My, oh my, and there's the Nietzsche.
I'm curious to see if this develops into a confrontation.
Will it be possible?
リーチ
That's actually really funny, so I'll take that weight.
リーチだぜ
Three players each. Amazing. Having a very big weight.
Games.
Wow, what a show. The player.
The player is not letting up.
That's pretty hot.
チートイドラドラパネマン
Say the line! Say the line!
East 2, one counter. The Dora is the two of
This
bands.
fucking video
the player
game.
Is East.
Hey,
The
wait a minute,
player
not again.
Came out
Wait.
ahead after a fierce exchange of fire.
Moving into
This is
first
weird.
place.
Alright, cut the
At
guest
least for
wind,
a
I
moment.
guess, and then
Is this a
see where
battle
things
that
progress.
Can be won?
This 6-0 is actually probably the shittiest thing in the hand right now, which is weird to think about.
Who's going to make the first call here? Any calls on this? Took a pass for now.
I actually wonder if I should have taken that call.
Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded.
Shh. Backfire, backfire. Backfire is not real. Backfire is not real.
Another
Backfire
useless
exists
draw.
only in your imagination.
This hand is going nowhere.
Shh, it's fine. 3 Shanten by line 1, that's fine. Alright, decision
The
time.
player, 2 tiles to Tenpai.
This hand is
I
really
guess I
beginning to
commit,
come
huh?
together.
With 2 outside pairs,
What to do with
it
this
seems
tile?
like the way to progress the hand.
Still
I don't know if I
back.
can rely on that call, though. I think it makes this hand a lot slower if I take that.
Oh my, and there's
Okay.
the Nietzsche.
Safety.
Probably wants to avoid taking
To progress
risks
this any
while in the
further,
lead.
I'm going to need to get rid of the 2
Can the
pins.
player
So if I decide to
survive
push
this
this, I think
situation?
I'll have to do it very soon.
The player.
How about now?
1 tile to Tenpai. The player. Is it still no calls?
Alright, 7 pin? 7 pin, 9-mon, green dragon.
No one dares to make the first move. The player's going for it.
That
Chasing Nietzsche.
probably wants to avoid taking risks
Okay.
while in the lead.
That one I don't think I can
One
throw.
step in the wrong direction.
That's
Dude.
Ah, geez. The player on the right.
Tiny baby hand.
A very swift win off the wall.
With a fine play, no doubt about it.
Fuck.
リーズモドラサンバンラン
Ah well, 5500. I've still got a buffer. For
East
sure.
3. The Dora is the 4 of Bams. The player is West.
Wow, Sanma's for
This is a very
fucking morons.
challenging
That's
starting
crazy.
hand.
Let's see how this battle unfolds. The player, 1 step in the right direction.
The next few tiles could make
Sanma
a
makes
huge
you
difference.
worse at the game. Confirmed.
The player on the
All
right.
right.
Makes a call out of nowhere.
If I see another
This
call, I'm
hand
just
is
gonna
now
treat them like they're
guaranteed
Tenpai. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Maybe it is
Wait a
better
minute.
to hold back without any green dragons visible.
Too much sugar posting, Gecko?
Another useless draw.
If I want to push it like that, 9-pin can go next. Alright, that's probably Sozu half flush Tenpai. If I see the overflow tile, I'll know for sure, but... Yeah, so getting... Well, that just got thrown, so I get away with it for now, but...
My, oh my, and there's the leech!
Moderate safety? I really don't want to throw Sozu into the dealer right now, actually. This is fine.
This situation?
The player on the left has
This cleared against
that tile.
everyone, actually, so... Then the west is one chance.
Excellent evasive action.
I can do evil.
Ah, there it is.
All right.
I hear a roam.
With a fine play, no doubt about it.
Alright, let's see Ura 12. Nope.
The player on the left is now a contender for first place.
Alright. Striking distance, I see you.
South 1. The Dora is the 2 of Bams. The player is south. The player is in the lead, at least for the moment.
You have to stay on your toes all the way down to the end.
I swear I keep hearing new lines with these fuckers.
To work around.
Alright, this is weird. I feel like there is room to actually force a flush in this hand.
This table is so quiet, I could
Like,
hear
just
a
because
pin
there's
drop.
so little else going on in it, I have time to, like, push it in that direction. The 7-8 would hurt to cut. But...
Things are at a standstill.
Well, what kind of vibes do I get from that guy? Because I might just want to rush a cheap hand to
The air
fucking
is
break
tense
them
as
up.
The players take their turns.
Play fast to keep the lead and all that, but...
The player, one step in the right direction.
The Bams are really coming together.
Any calls on this tile?
That I
Oh,
can take
wow,
for
and
sure.
there's a call.
And then...
This hand is now a guaranteed
Decision
2 high.
point. I think I throw the guess twins.
The player on
Since
the
this is
right
now 3 Han,
refuses to compromise.
even with, like, nothing. Strengthens the block. I don't know my assessment of how dangerous these fucking dragons are. They're all live. They're all live. One of these is going to get called almost certainly. This 3 sucks. I almost want to throw it faster.
The
4 just
player
came
on the
out.
left
3, 5,
discards
7,
another
7, 8.
bam.
I want to pair somewhere in the hand. And if I'm gonna take a pair, then
What
the
to do
5s
with
seem
this
like,
took a pass for now.
because that red 5 so stays in the hand no matter what. I think.
The player, one tile to Tenpai.
This hand looks nothing like it did at
I think that was probably an efficiency mistake of some kind, but
The player.
okay, yeah, because we're now on a rough weight 3 of Benjon, but. Is that 3 any safer? Those 2 are kind of cheap right now.
Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded. Oh my!
Nice.
There it is. I hear a roam.
A very impressive finish.
I'm simply blown away.
Okay.
South 2.
Hey, Karen.
The Dora is the
Sup?
1 of dots. The player is east. The player finished the last hand quick and dirty.
player remains in the lead.
Okay,
The
just get rid of
stage
the
is set.
Manzu.
Anything can happen. Any calls on this tile?
Sure, let's play it fast.
The player makes a
Not like there's
call
anything else
out
going
of
on in this hand.
nowhere.
This lifts a heavy burden.
The play. What to do with this? The player already calls a second meld.
Alright, we are lined up for a fucking dog water awful wait.
The player, Tenpai, draws yet another simple.
I feel like the fucking Pinzu shape is at least easier to improve, right? I can draw 5-pin and turn it into a stretch single. Yeah, and fucking... There you go. 5 outs.
The player on the right drops a pair. The player, can this hand withstand the heat?
I could have swapped to be
The
tricky
player
there,
on
but
the
I feel
right
like there's actually no
discards
reason to do that.
My, oh my, and then... The player on the
Okay.
right scored 3 Doras.
That kills the Ipatsu.
I think I hold this Tenpai.
That top.
There we go.
There it is. The player on the left takes a beat.
Rack it up. We're
Excellent
scoring for the
evasive
fucking card
maneuver.
now.
The player is not
Give me my counters.
South 2.
I wonder what the average value of a
Dora
Ricci is in
the
Sanma.
8 of dots. The player is East. The player finished the last hand
Oh, okay.
quick and dirty.
Hopefully this will end without any incidents.
Now,
So this would hurt to
let's
cut.
watch how things develop.
It's not like Honitsu is worth that much more. But, you know.
Look at that
Oh my
Dora.
god, fine. You
Decided
know what?
that dots aren't
Get it
worth
out of here.
chasing.
Get it out of the way.
Draws yet another simple.
Fucking lose it.
The player on the right makes a call out of nowhere.
Betting on an influx of BAMs here.
Alright, so I think I've made my intentions pretty obvious by
Calls
cutting
on
Dora
this
8-pin
time.
into 7-pin.
Took a pass for now.
2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8.
The player on the right drops a
Sozu
pair.
shape. Oh!
Honda making a move here. Honda. The player on the left.
I wonder how
made a
possible
call
all
there.
greens was from that position. Needed to kill
to
3
do
tiles
with
out of the
this
hand
tile?
for it.
Still holding back.
I'm actually gonna
The
stay
player
closed.
on the right discards another BAM.
All the fucking Sozu flying out of that guy's hand, though.
There it is. Hanemon Tenpai.
Dama for now.
The player on the left. Here
Okay.
we have a con. The new Dora is 3 dots.
Cool, very cool.
The player on the right makes a call on another dot.
I probably shouldn't have thrown Sozu into that. I like how I had the opportunity to discard that Enrichi there.
Spectacular draw.
A very impressive finish.
The player is simply in the zone.
Alright.
South 2.
Racking
2
some
counters.
score.
The Dora is the 5 of BAMs. The player is East. The player is coming off a spectacular hand.
What to cut
Victory is right
here?
around the corner.
Is this a battle that can be won?
Probably cut the dragons first.
The player gaining momentum.
The next few tiles could make
Any calls on this tile?
Sure, speed it
The
up.
player makes a call out of nowhere.
this lifts a heavy burden.
There's no value in the hand, so better to play it fast, I think. From like a strong dealer position. 1, 3, 6. Alright, cut a weak shape. Take the pair there. Treat that 3-4 as
It's
a proto run.
important to find the best possible weight.
The player.
Alright.
Tenpai.
2 5-pin weight. Cool, 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 cool.
The player on the left drops a pair. Took a pass for now.
I've been chilling fucking advent calendar streams
The player
on
in this hand with
fucking Fetty and co-hosts the entire time. I wonder if I should chill Mahjong too.
takes a
As it turns
beating.
out, the overlap between FGC and Mahjong is like bigger than I thought, even already being aware of it.
South 2, 3 counters. The Dora is the 5 of BAMs. The player is
Alright,
East. The player
kinda low-key feeling the hot
finished
streak
last
right now.
hand quick and
3 6 8 9. That is some
Party
ugly
ain't over
fucking
yet.
shit.
Let's see how
Alright, a
this
little bit
battle
less ugly now.
unfolds.
That was probably... Maybe I could have cut the one so there instead. Alright, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3 pairs.
This tile?
Call the south for speed? Nah. Alright, more pairs. Alright, fuck it. I'm actually gonna commit and cut from the center here. That's weird.
Who's going to make the first call? Oh, wow, and there's
I feel
a
like some
call.
mistakes were made along the way here.
Honda. The player on the left refuses to compromise. The player is already 1 tile to Tenpai.
Certain tiles will fit right into this hand. Others will gradually
So looking
transform it.
for basically anything to finish that Sozu shape or complete either pair.
There it
Alright.
The player on the right takes a beating.
With a fine play.
Dama
No doubt
Honitsu.
about it.
初ドラバンラン
And that guy
The
fucking
player
died.
captures a huge victory.
Somebody just wanted to get out of that fucking game, I think. Cool. I actually don't even know what rank does in this game. So as you can see, I've been having an exciting card. You like that plus 0.0? Checking some ring racer stuff. There are some pretty exciting looks in this room.
East 1. The Dora is White Dragon.
I can't
The
read what's on
player
screen,
is
let alone
East.
know how the fuck Mahjong works.
How does this starting hand
I
look
could try to
you?
explain it, but honestly it might be better for
Where's
you if
the
I
green
don't.
dragon hiding?
Let's see how
So this is a
battle
high five, what the
unfolds.
fuck?
Any calls on this time? The player makes a call out of nowhere.
This lifts a heavy burden.
The player is already one tile to 10
So we're just gonna
This
go
hand
for a
is
bullshit
very near
fast hand.
completion.
Fucking
What to
Hatsudora
do
1.
with this tile?
Sure.
The player already calls us.
Yeah, I'll
the
take the
player.
fucking 8 out
Stand
Rion
by.
and wait for that. Thank you very much. I never understood Mahjong, so I just exist here. Perhaps.
Who will
Fucking-
come out on top in this
A
confrontation?
weird amount of people in my streams are just here, even though they have no fucking clue what I'm doing, which I think is cool.
The player. Can this hand withstand the heat?
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, ring out. That's pretty good.
I hear
I'm a fan of that.
Takes the lead in the race.
the player takes a modest lead.
During the FF14 streams. I
East
fucking...
1.
I'm
One
glad I'm
counter.
not streaming
The Dora
Raid this
is
tier.
south. The player is east.
It has been
The
nice to
player
have a little bit
finished
more.
the last
Whoa,
hand
fuck are you?
Quick and dirty.
Taking a modest lead with that one.
Weirdo.
This is not an easy spot to work around.
Hand for normal
Any
people.
calls on this tile? The player makes it what to do with this tile. The player already calls a second meld.
This was a mistake.
The player, no tempi here.
How
Maybe
was
it is
this
better
tier
to
for
go
you?
back
It's still
without
going.
any south tiles
We're
visible.
still on PAS Part 1, unfortunately. Plugging
Doubled
away.
up on
I
a
think,
tile that
like,
was just discarded.
we'll probably get Part 1 down soon,
The
but
player,
unlimited
is it
hours.
time? The player,
This
tempi.
this
This hand
sucks!
may have a poor weight.
This
Still
fucking
explosive.
sucks! This is horrible!
How are the players going to approach this
This is
hand?
fake
The
Monzu
player,
Onitsu
can this
somehow.
hand withstand the heat?
I'm just T-posing at the fucking table. I had to finally clean out all the letters and put them on another layer, which I'm glad I did. That seems
No
like it'll
way.
save you some fucking time,
My,
yeah.
Oh my, and there's the lead.
Hey!
Amazing.
It came home! Give me your fucking stick!
Spectacular draw.
A very impressive finish.
Excellent.
The player
Our
is
Gorgon's
not
giving
letting
issue.
up.
We're just slow. I think we're not super consistent right now. Fucking Snake 2
East 1.
is
Two
like
counters.
having
The
inexplicable
Dora is
failures.
the three of
People
dots.
sometimes
The
die in
player
Scent
is
1.
east. The player
Snake 1's
is
still kind of a
coming off
toss-up.
Spectacular hand. The stage is set. Anything can happen.
Fourfold Fires is like, we'll usually have a few deaths going through it.
The player, 2 tiles to tempi.
People are not
The next
usually
few
alive in
tiles
time for
could make
Centaur
a
2.
huge
It's that kind of thing. Where it's just like, oh, gotta clean up. That's the way it goes.
Draws yet another simple.
Is there a sane way for me to treat this? I feel like maybe cutting 1 from 1-2 sucked, but maybe it's better to isolate that as a pair. This is a 3-pair. This is now a 4-pair hand.
Whatever happens,
But, it's
it'll be
horrible.
something to talk about. Another useless draw.
This is a
Any
fucking
calls
mess. I want
on
to
this
fold this
tile?
hand on the basis that I hate
Making a
it.
move here.
This lifts a heavy burden.
Two more weeks till we get our 8th book. Plugging
Plugging
away. Yeah, we've been on P8 for about 2 months at this point, and we're still like we're just now credibly pushing into Gorgon 2. So it's like I think we might have a very difficult time in part 2, but I'm hopeful. And I'm enjoying the raid anyway, so whatever.
Is this hand going to
My
end?
hope is that we can fucking get it before unlock, but
A very impressive finish.
The player is simply in the
I fucking love Hamba in this mode. Sega MJ's rule set of 1,000-point Hamba is like, it encourages the worst kind of player behavior.
This party ain't over yet.
Now, let's watch how things develop.
Better to cut west
Player
there.
on the right
But,
makes a call out
XD.
of nowhere.
Oh, it's still East 1, isn't it? Huh.
The
That's
player,
kind of weird.
2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand
We're
is
not
really
blind.
beginning to come
We're just
together.
slow. We'll have good strats for P8S Part 2,
The perfect
but
tile.
リーチよ
There it is. The player on the right. Here
So
we
this-
have a con.
this happened,
the
huh?
Dora is white
it's an
dragon.
alright weight
That kills
too.
the Ikatsu.
It's
The
not a
player
bad
on the
weight.
right decides to match the player's discard. The player. Can this hand withstand the heat? The player on the right is playing cautious.
Look at how quickly this fucking game is
across the
progressing,
table
by the
will be
way.
taking
Like, look at this
risks
shit.
The player can't quite get the job
So,
done
you
on
think this guy
hand.
might want some Sozu? Alright, that's
Chasing
Tempai.
Deech.
This is a neat shootout.
There's only one.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. That's a roan from
Bang!
Fine play. No doubt about it.
ペイドラさ
the
ん
right. The fight for first place is getting ugly.
Alright. That's a rough hit, but
East 2.
we're still
the
leading.
Dora is the 2 of dots. The player
It's a
is
big ass
west.
hand.
How does this starting
Not
hand
huge,
look
but
to
big
you?
enough, you know?
Getting that Yaku locked in really makes life easier.
Is this
Do
a
I play
battle
this
that
one
can
for
be
speed
won?
too? The Haku triplet and the fucking high pie is pretty funny.
The player misses a turn. The player on the right. His opponent.
Wait, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know.
The player on the right discards another bam. The player, one step in the right direction.
The next few times
I have
could
all of
make a
what you
huge
want.
difference.
Any calls on this tile?
何よ
Making a move here.
Ah!
The
They actually had it!
takes a beating.
That was a speedy finish.
2位層役割
God fucking damn it! Ah! Tactical
Easy.
incoming! I thought it would be really funny to push into that, and I saw the East on the other side of the table like, we're all good. If they needed that, they would have called it. You know, sometimes that's not how the game works. I'm gonna have to figure out how to efficiently teach people this fucking game at some point, huh? Alright, so the card is going pretty poorly. That motherfucker must have felt like a genius being at a Tonki wait for a fucking terminal that already passed, for an honor that already passed. That's horrifying.
East 1. The Dora is White Dragon. The player is East. How does this starting hand look to you?
All right.
8 orphans
1,
here.
2.
Can we make it to 13?
You know what? That
Let's
sounds
see
like a
how
great
this
idea.
battle unfolds.
I think at this, I've earned some fucking Yakuman fishing tonight.
The player, one step in the right direction.
This hand.
Any calls? Took a pass for now. The player, that's
Yeah,
progress.
fucking
The next few
Puyo
tiles
Quest
could
Rulu
make
on the
a huge
fucking
difference.
Dreamcast background. Hey, wait a minute. Something's happening in this hand.
Who's going to make the first call?
Hey,
here?
hold on. Hey, hold on.
Another useless.
I can
draw.
try to teach people how to play after the fucking card. Honestly.
The player, 2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
So, Chun is dead.
What to do with this tile?
So it can't be that. But maybe
The
it can be
player
something
calls
else.
west, but it's not a Yaku. The player across refuses to compromise. The new Dora is west.
Video game. Video gamed. This is fucking
Who's
horrible.
going to pull away
Nothing
from the
nothing
pack?
about what's happening on this fucking screen right now is good. Rutta, we're in row 3.
The player
I'm 3 away
across
and I'm still
makes a
pushing.
call
Wait, what
on
is
another band.
what are they doing? Oh my god.
The
What
player,
are you
is it
doing?
time? The player, that's a pwn. Ah, jeez.
Nothing
The
normal
player
happened.
On the right, a very swift win off the wall.
The player on the right. A very favorable.
2800 point hand when both of us were fucking swinging with those.
East 2. The
Some
Dora
people
is
just
the
have no
one
sense of
bounds.
decorum.
The player is west. How does this starting
Hey, wait a
hand
minute, not
look to
again.
you?
8 orphans.
Wait a
here.
minute, not again.
Can
Not
we make it
again.
to 13?
This is not an easy spot to work around. The player, one step
Okay, so
in the
like
right direction.
you
The
you
next
don't
few
go for
tiles
it
Could make a huge difference.
at 8. I just feel the need to point that out in case anyone thinks that I'm playing in a way that is like normal or healthy. You don't do this. Only villains
Look
do
at
that.
Dora. The player,
However.
that's progress.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
However,
The player, first place is well within striking range.
This is
so
pretty
quiet,
dire,
I
I'd
could
say.
hear a pin drop.
okay. Decision time.
The player, 2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
This is the point where brain damage really starts to factor in. Hey, wait a minute. Hey.
Things are at a standstill. Ah, jeez! The player on the right.
All right,
What
Dama
an
what?
incredible
Dama
win
fucking
off the wall.
3-han?
This will be a repeat of East.
Oh. Alright. Okay. Responsible hand building. What a
East
loser.
2, 1 counter. The Dora is the 5 of dots. The player is west. How does this starting hand
1,
look to
2,
you?
3, 4
Quick
pairs?
Hentai is very much in the cards here.
The stage is set. Anything can happen.
Can please let this be a normal field trip?
The player is already 1 tile to Tempai. Any calls on this? Took a pass for now. The player on the right, what to do? Still holding back.
I think I actually looked for the Chitoy here.
The player across discards another bam. The player across follows suit here.
I feel like this is just not going to happen. Anybody else getting
What's
the
going to
overwhelming
happen
impression
to
that I'm
this
gonna die in
score gap?
obscurity and no one will remember me?
Finally, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Each.
Vanilla VF5 dub announcer. This is also like a lost content announcer. These announcers come from the English version of the game. We're not gonna talk about anything that's happening here. Say the line. There was an English localized version of this game available for mobile a while back, and it's like, it was shut down. Partially because they basically just didn't port any of the collab content over for licensing reasons, and that's like half the reason people give a shit about this client. You know what? Fine, I actually have no moral framework whatsoever.
Maybe it is better to hold back without any West tiles visible.
I just have no morals, I'm sorry.
One tile to Tenpai.
It's important to find the best possible way.
One step in the wrong. Any calls on this
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Second mouth. The player. One tile to Tenpai.
Certain tiles...
Uh-oh, East has declared Beach.
I'm curious to see if this develops into a confrontation.
Will it be possible to catch up here?
This tile is...
I just
blocked
don't
off by
feel
3
like defending
discards.
against this. This isn't based in any like statistical analysis or like real defensible strategy. I just don't want to be responsible
That tile
today.
made it through.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. I'm treating myself.
The player across. The new
ah!
Hanemon Tenpai.
Help!
This hand may have a poor
Help.
weight, but it's still explosive.
Okay, so it's look at those. I know those are Sumogiri, but they're making me nervous. Sumo.
That took care of that.
Give me your
beast
fucking
speech.
points.
The player is not letting up.
Thank you for the con. God, this card fucking sucks.
Is the 9 of cracks. The player is East. The player is coming off a spectacular hand. Is this a battle that can be won?
Okay.
The player
I'm
is
just not
already
being
one
responsible.
tile to Tenpai.
This
There it is, Beach. The player on the right is on the defense against the player's Beach.
Listen,
The player
if I'm given
in this
turn
hand
4
withstand
Tenpai, I'm gonna
Beach.
take it. If I'm given turn 4 dealer Tenpai, behind by 2,000 points, I'm
The
going to
player on
take
the
it.
right decides to match the player's discard. The player.
Hey, thank you very much.
Still on a very thin draw.
a very impressive finish.
One more win
The
could just
player-
like end the
The
game,
player
or
is
like a Dora
simply
flip.
in the zone.
Ah, well.
リズム
Alright.
South one counter.
Strong position.
The Dora is the 9 of bands. The player is
I
East.
I
The
literally
player
do not
finished
need
the
that.
last
You can
hand
you
quick
can
and dirty.
actually take it
This
back.
party
I
ain't
do
over
not
yet.
require that.
Let's see how this battle unfolds.
I should probably not call that.
The player, 2 tiles to Tenpai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
It's probably not good to do what I'm trying to do. It's probably very bad to do this. Like, I should play
air
for
is
first
tense as
place.
the players
I should
take
play
their
to end the
turns.
game in first place. But what I see
Another
is a
useless
3 Dora
draw.
high
Any
pie
calls on this tile? Oh, wow, and there's a
and a
call.
chance to
The
get a little
player
bit of
across
overkill
drops a
damage.
pair.
Like I'm
The player,
maximizing
one
my
step
fucking
in the
combo
right
in Mortal
direction.
Kombat
The next
4.
few tiles could make a huge difference.
My, oh my, and
You know what?
there's
Fuck
the
it. I'm
lead.
actually gonna full
I'm curious
push.
to see if this
We are
develops into
Chinitsu
competition.
Gaming now.
Question is, can the
We are
player survive
Chinitsu Dora
this
3
situation?
Gaming.
The player across the table has discarded that tile.
Come on, is my Shock's version of maximum damage.
Ah, geez.
Okay.
The player across. What an incredible win off the wall.
Mizumo Dora 2, so manga minimum. Hanemon with that?
リズムピンフドラサ
Yeah, been put in there. All right,
South 2.
leading by a
Fedora
slim margin.
Is the 5 of BAMs. The player is West. How does this starting hand...
Can I just have a normal fucking high pie?
Can we make it to 13?
This is not an easy
This is
spot
not
to
an
work
orphan's hand, right? Come on. It's not okay to tell people to fish for orphans in that circumstance.
The player, one step in the right
Why do the
direction.
announcers tell you to go for it at 8
really
anyway?
fingers in.
What the fuck is that? Commentators
The
smoking
player
every drug?
across drops a pair. Doubled up on a tile that was just
We're just not gonna
discarded.
worry about the dragon situation.
Who will come out on top in this confrontation?
That's
The player,
actually
two
like...
tiles. The player on
So
the
I've
right,
got my
that's
5
opponent.
blocks, but...
The player is already one time. And he calls on this time. There it
Whoa.
is. The player across suffers an unexpected
Okay.
loss.
This will be a repeat of East.
Still in it. Need a
South
somewhat
2, one
decisive
counter.
hand to
The
win
Dora
this.
is the 3 of BAMs. The player is West.
So I
The
need
player
4,300.
on the right is in first.
At the moment, this is anyone's game.
The stage is set. Anything can happen.
I feel like every Sanma hand is a nightmare.
The player. First place is well
3, 4, 5, 6. I'll
within
take that
striking
stretch shape
range.
over the 1,
Decided
2,
to
so.
pass on that edge weight. Oh wow! Any calls on this tile? Took a
For
pass
someone who doesn't
now.
understand this game, watching like
Another
Sega Net
useless
Sanma
try.
has to be the weirdest possible first experience you can have with
The
it.
player
Because this is the
already
fastest and the
one
dumbest
tile
the
to
game will
10
ever
by.
play for
This hand
anyone
is
who has
very
ever
near
played it.
completion.
Still
I
holding
don't
back.
want that con. But what if I did? What if I'm a
Look at
coward?
that.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna fucking... This weight sucks.
There it
This
is.
weight sucks! I don't need Suanko. I don't need Suanko, but I need points before South 3. I
The
need to
player
take
on the
something.
right decides to match the player's discard. The player can this hand. The player across.
Okay.
Scored. Oh,
Thank
my.
you. It overflowed.
The player across takes a beating.
A very impressive finish.
All right,
The
Condor.
player could take the
Nope.
win, depending on the underside Dora.
I'm simple.
All right, 495.
South 3. The Dora is the 9 of craps.
Any hand
The
takes it.
player is South. Heading into the final hand of the match.
The player, for Tsumo,
That
1,000 points or more will take
Forso
first.
discard.
For
Okay, so they're
Gon,
fishing for Yakuman.
1,500 points or more will take first.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out. The player
Yeah, Lazy Scraper,
is
we got the
already
fucking,
one tile to
we got the
10
Sega
pies.
property
It's
here.
important to find the best possible weight.
The player across continues to discard symbols.
Hello?
Decided
Any calls on this time? Oh, wow, and there's a call.
Hello, police? It could have been all honors. Oh, what the fuck? What are we doing?
And there's the leech.
I'm curious.
I'm gonna
to see
fight
if
for
this
it.
develops into a
I'm gonna fight for it.
competition.
I've gotta fight for it.
Ah,
What the fuck?
geez.
Come on!
The player on the right. A very swift win off the wall.
That was a speedy finish.
Christ alive. This game was a fucking bloodbath. What a fucking video game we are playing right now. VTuber destroyed. Alright, so the only things remaining on the fucking event reward list are the characters, which I kind of doubt I'll use, but what if I did, though? So how the fuck is this game played? Alright, I can try to explain. It's like... If poker and gin rummy had like a really... They had a really shitty relationship and produced a fucked up child that then had a horrible life and then decided to get really into ketamine. basically, the idea is that a complete hand, these tiles are numbered 1 through 9, right? And there's 4 copies of each type of tile.
Certainly very competitive.
And the basic, like the most basic zoomed out objective of the game is on your turn, you draw a tile, and then you discard whichever tile you want the least. And your goal is to make a hand with 4 sets and 1 pair. And a set can be 3 of the same tile, like 6 pin, 6 pin, 6 pin. Or it can be a run of 3 ascending tiles of the same suit, like 7 pin, 8 pin, 9 pin. So I've got like a pair of 1s here, a set of 6s, a run of 7, 8, 9. Then this one's a little bit weird to look at, but I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I've got 2, 3, waiting on either a 1-so or a 4-so to complete it as my 5th and final set. Calling Ricci is basically like calling Uno. It's not required, but there's some asterisks associated with that. But basically it's good for scoring, and it works in basically every hand. So, you call Uno, you wait until somebody discards the tile that you want, because you can either win by drawing the last tile you want, or if somebody else throws it away. So, you want to throw away tiles you don't want and hold on to tiles you do want, but throwing away tiles that don't work in your hand can kill you on the basis of somebody else's hand. And that's the game. That's like your incredibly zoomed out overview of Ricci Mahjong. This is a fucking hand. Maybe this should have been Honitsu. Fuck it. Oh my god.
Another useless
Moshi Moshi Haku desu.
East is looking to shut things down.
By the way, the winds and the dragons.
Question is, can the players
That's 7 types of tiles that do not themselves have a number. They can only be paired up as part of triplets. They don't belong to any suit. So they're kind of difficult to use in your hand, and typically using them in your hand will give you more points in some way. I actually don't even feel like dealing with this, so I'm just gonna throw all of these in order.
Any calls? I'll pick a pass for now.
Use closed con to fish for Rinshan. I've got a better idea. I'll draw a bunch of Sozu and then push for Chinitsu.
How are the players going to approach this hand?
So we have some options for stepping around this Ricci, but we know that this 5 and this 9 are also safe.
Find the best possible weight.
There it is. The player across
All good.
suffers an unexpected loss.
This will be a repeat of East.
So when the announcers there mentioned this will be a repeat of East, so everybody at the table takes turns being the dealer, right?
East 2, 1 counter. The door
And the
is
dealer
2 of bam.
gets
The player
50%
is
extra
south.
score
I'd love
for
to see
winning
some
hands,
tile drawing magic here.
The stage is
but
set. Anything can
if
happen.
somebody else draws their own winning tile, if they win by sumo, then you pay more than the other guy. Because if you draw your own tile to win,
The player, 1 step in the right
then
direction.
This is the point
the
where
rest of the
skill
table
really
pays you
factors
out
in.
more or less
The
evenly,
player
with the dealer
gaining
paying more.
momentum.
But if somebody
bands are really
discards the
coming
tile you
together.
need to win, they pay the full value of your hand, which means they're fucking sad and should feel bad about it.
Draws yet another simple.
Is any of this making sense? In my experience, this is the sort of thing that you absorb slowly, so...
Player is already 1 tile to Tenpai.
Certain tiles will fit right into this hand. Others will gradually transform.
Hey, wait a minute.
My, oh my, and there's the niche.
I'm curious to see if this develops into a confrontation.
The question is, can the player survive? Any calls on this tile?
Did I just push this? I think I just go.
The player, Tenpai.
That
Ah, geez.
They had 3 Dora.
The player across.
I'm maybe a little
What
stupid.
an incredible win off the wall.
Now explain
with
3
a fine
Tentai Ron.
blade, no doubt about it.
リズモピンクドラゴバイ
So, I mentioned that if you discard the tile somebody wants,
Right.
You pay for their whole
Three.
hand,
The
basically.
Dora is the 3 of bams. The
Then,
player is east. How does this starting hand look to you?
The natural question is, how the fuck do you know what somebody
let's
wants?
watch how things
And that's a
develop.
complicated question, but you have a baseline, which is you know what they don't want, you can see what they threw away, and there is actually a particular rule called Furiten that basically controls if you've discarded something, you can't steal it from someone else to win later down the line. You can't trick people in that specific way, because it's just too easy. And so, the things that someone has in their discards inform what you're allowed to throw. Like, if somebody calls Ricci, if somebody calls Uno, then I know 100%, I'm looking for value here, don't worry about it, that all of the tiles they have discarded before are safe against them, that I can throw them away and I won't get punished for it, at least not from them.
Look at that.
I'll take Furiten 369 here. So, this complicated as fuck Pinzu shape has 3 outs, the 3-pin, the 6-pin, or the 9-pin. Because I discarded the 3-pin before, I obviously can't win off that if somebody else discards it, like the player to my left just did. But I also can't win if somebody discards the 6-pin or the 9-pin either, because any tile that would complete your hand is subject to this rule. This is basically the most complicated rule in the game, so don't worry about it too much. But basically, there are so many outs for this. There are so many ways this hand can win that I'm okay with being Furiten, because I can still draw any of those tiles myself to win, but other people get to throw them away and not get punished. They don't know that. They don't know what I'm waiting on, so they don't know they're safe. But they are.
Chasing the player on the left. Here we have a con. The new Dora is 3-dot.
That kills the...
Welcome to the Ricci video tutorial.
End in a draw.
In Sanma, your only real goal is to hit with EX Mallet Smash, the world's fastest overhead.
With a fine play, no doubt about it.
The fight for first place.
That was really Hoteron, huh? Okay. The hand breakdown that comes up after everybody wins is basically,
The player is west.
so there's like 100 fucking poker hands that all, like, are worth different amounts, and scoring in this game is, like, famously the most difficult part to understand.
Look at that Dora.
I'll just lead in with that.
Without any green dragons visible. Probably looking to block
You've seen
that green
people
dragon for quite a
call
while.
discards throughout the game and set aside tiles that other people discarded as part of sets, but not win directly off of them outright. Because basically, you can steal a tile if it would complete a set in your hand, subject to certain conditions, but after doing so, your hand becomes open. An open hand, a hand that contains tiles stolen from other players, cannot score in all of the same ways that a closed hand does. This is the part that people get fucked up on. And in particular, because you can't just turn over a fucking 0-point hand. A complete hand is worth like nothing by itself. It has to satisfy one of these conditions called Yaku to be worth points. And Ricci, Uno, is not available to open hands. So basically, if you steal a tile from someone and it doesn't immediately win you the game, then you're now playing on expert mode, and I hope you had a plan. Which is why I typically recommend that new players ignore those options whenever they come up, until they know the Yaku pretty well. Because for reference, I'll go get the Yaku chart. It's intimidating. It looks so much worse than it actually is, but I'm not gonna tell you that it's not bad. It's like kinda bad. I don't want to call that. Yeah, actually, knowing like the broad strokes of how scoring works and like what sorts of hands are worth points, that's relatively easy to understand, even if stuff like Pinfu is gonna trip you up. But like, understanding how the combinations of value, the Yaku in your hand, translate into points, that shit can be maddening sometimes. Mini points are like a meme. It's literally like a fake game system designed by David Sirlin, and it makes no sense.
The player First place is well within striking range.
I think if I ever design a variant for like the purpose of teaching people or like playing with novices,
This table is so
Then,
quiet I could hear a pin drop. What to do with this time?
Fu are
Still
probably the
holding
first
back.
thing that goes. Did I tell you I wrote an entire English translation sheet for Mahjong terms? Oh man. Sterling could
The
be his own
player on the
category
left
of
pairs
Kasuge.
up on the
It's like,
Dora.
I don't even necessarily think Fantasy Strike is badly made, I just disagree fundamentally with what it's trying to do, I think. We're like, I don't disagree with its stated goals, I disagree with its revealed goals, I guess. The fact that certain things in that game work in the way they do reveals a certain preference about the way that fighting games should be that is just wrong.
The player on the left discards another dot.
I'll take the 4 out,
There it
wait.
is,
Alright,
beach.
so
The player on the left
if I bring this shit up,
decides to
right?
match the Chasing beach.
So
This is a beach shootout.
a lot of
There's
these are
only one
upgraded
winner
versions
in
of
a
other
beach
things.
shootout.
All of like the
Player, can this
indented
hand
ones are
withstand
just
the
like,
heat?
this is a more complicated
The
version
player
of
across.
another
And
thing.
There we have the first call.
But
Underside
like,
Dora.
there's some hand types to learn. Also, there's like a bunch of Yakuman in there,
This shootout.
which most people will
players
just
are
never
combined.
get.
South 3.
Yakuman are
One
like
counter.
meme
The
hands
Dora is
that are
the
fucking
seventh
impossible,
advance.
but
The player
score the
is
maximum
east,
allowed
heading
points
into the
by the
final
system.
hand of the match.
Any player could take first.
Ugh,
It may be the first
this is a
player to make
hand.
Tenpai.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out.
Okay.
The player is already one tile to Tenpai.
This hand is very near completion.
Like chess 2 and like the concept of the midline invasion rule. That's like, if you don't like the way that chess endgames play out and the fact that the
Any
game
calls
frequently
on this
draws, that's legitimately a really good way of handling that situation.
Tenpai.
This hand may have a poor weight, but it's
Now,
still
like,
explosive.
the point at which you decide that chess
Doubled up on a
needed
tile that
an
was just
Injustice-style hidden information game wager system?
The player. Here
I
we
think
have
I
a
just
card.
disagree
The
with
new
that.
Dora is 9 dots. Here goes. Amazing! What a spectacular draw!
That hand was quicker than lightning.
Are you for
A
fucking real?
spectacular
I
finish.
own and have played chess
Simply
2.
blown
It
away.
really does have that, I promise you.
The player came from behind and won it!
Like, chess needed matchups, you know? Chess needed asymmetrical armies. It's like, I disagree with that premise. I think you could do something cool with it, but I just don't... I have played chess 2. I have not played chess 2 online, because the servers do not exist anymore. Like, HD Remix! HD Remix has a lot of cool ideas in it, and like, let's update this game and bring it to modern platforms and like reduce like we'll cleave out the absolute most mindless and the absolute most broken stuff. We'll get input from like high-level professional players about like how the game could be made more beautiful. That's great. And then they didn't implement SOCD cleaning at all. Oops! Oh well! Fucking great.
East 1. The Dora is the 5 of BAMs. The player is South.
The player. Last match, we saw a very
HD
impressive
Remix
win.
gave us
This match
fucking
is sure to
walk
have just
forward
as many
booms.
opportunities.
Let's see how this battle unfolds.
Why would I do that? Should have been the East.
The player.
ST
one
walked
step
so
in the right
HDR
direction.
could trip
This
over
hand
its
is
own
really
dick
beginning
and
to
shit
come
itself.
The player on a roll.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
The player Gaining momentum.
This is the point where skill really factors.
That's the last tile.
And I'm
Oh,
sure we don't
wow,
need to
and
talk
there's a
about your
call.
only move
This
is
looks to
lawsuit.
be burden.
Like, we've all been through that, right?
Doubled up on a tile that was just discarded. Who's going to pull away from the pack?
I guess accepting that lets me do a fucking
Making a
6-9
move
stretch
here.
single weight at some point. Frog DM'd me the fucking translation chart and this kind of
How are the
rules.
players going to approach this hand?
No.
There it is.
I need a better
Player
system for
on
getting
the
fucking
left
web content into my
suffers
screen
an
without dragging around
unexpected
browser
loss.
windows and like
Player
pissing
on the
myself.
left, a very favorable start.
I have never heard of anyone playing the Yomi TCG, but like the reason Sterling's being protective of it, I think, is because currently Yomi 2 is being
This
worked on,
starting hand is certainly
and
very
it's going to
competitive.
apparently have like a first-party digital client.
The player already 2 tiles to
Alright, this is
Tempai.
4
This
pairs.
hand is really beginning to come together.
I wonder... With the Dora, I feel like it's hard to justify just leaning all the way into G-Toy here.
Out of nowhere.
There are
The
2
player
types
on
of
the
hands
left. Here we have
that
a con.
break the normal
new
rules
Dora is
of
out.
4 sets in a
Another
pair.
useless draw.
By the way,
The player
there
on
is
the
13
left
orphans,
discards
which
another
is a
dot.
meme, and
The
if you hear
player
Frog
is
talking about it,
already
you should
1
walk
tile
away.
to Tempai.
This hand
And
is very near
there
completion.
is 7 pairs, or chitoitsu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, I think I like the hand in its current configuration, if I'm gonna be honest. It might actually
Look at
finish.
that Dora. Look at that.
Hey, wait a minute.
リーチよ。
There it is. Neat.
Potential Sananko moment? Sananko is 3 concealed triplets. I got 1 triplet here, 1 triplet here. And then if I draw the last tile in either of these pairs myself, it will complete it for a 3rd triplet. That's all from me for 3 concealed
The player on
triplets.
the right won't be taking risks here. The player on the left is assuming that it's an open weight.
The player.
I don't
can't quite
dislike
get
the Fantasy
job
Strike
done on this hand.
designs, but there's like...
The player on the
There is
left
a
decides
Unity
to
comic
approach.
book asset pack
The player on the left,
feel to the
that's a
way
bump.
that
Wins
everything
this
about
shootout.
Yomi and Fantasy Strike
players are
like
Tempai.
looks.
East 3, 1 counter.
Like, the
Dora
visual
is the
style
one
is
of
dehydrated
traps.
comic.
The player is west. The player on the right is in first.
The point leader is not terribly far away.
It's like
The
not
stage
too
is
many
set.
steps removed
Anything can
from
happen.
like somebody with no knowledge of like paneling making a comic out of fucking Blender renders with a cell shade filter on top of them. It's like this isn't comics.
The player, 1 step in the right direction.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
The player.
I know.
gaining
Normally I'm
momentum.
like,
This is the point where skill really factors in.
is it fair to say that normally I'm like super
The player
careful
is already
about
1
like talking
tile to
shit about
Tempai.
indies?
Nearly every
In public
draw has been an
spaces.
improvement.
But like, as soon as you start swinging the lawsuit around, I feel like
wow,
you
and
have
there's a
crossed
call.
the barrier. You are no longer under the protection
The player
of
on the left
plucky little guy
discards
trying to make the
another
digi
dot.
games.
The player on the left, that's a poem.
This is a little shitty,
リーチよ。
There it is.
but I'm kind of okay with taking
Went
it.
for the Deech, despite an unfavorable weight.
Dang.
Jeez.
Okay.
The player suffers an unexpected loss.
With fine play, no doubt about it.
South 1. The door
Like, a lot of
is
things-
the 7 of
I won't
diamonds.
speak
The
for
player
Yomi.
is south. The player on the left is in first.
At the moment,
If
this
the
is
way
anyone's
Sterling
game.
talks about
Now,
strategy
let's watch how things develop.
as it relates to chess 2 is an indication, then I probably wouldn't like it very much.
The player,
And that's okay.
one step in the right direction.
This hand is
But
really
Fantasy
beginning to
Strike
come
does
together.
a lot of things that are good, and then way more things that are probably not good but are interesting.
Any calls on this tile?
Sure, why
The
not?
player makes a call out of nowhere.
This lifts a heavy burden.
The player, 2 tiles to Tempai.
The
Merry
next few
Christmas, Envy.
tiles could make a huge difference.
Thanks for dropping in. Please enjoy your holidays.
Another useless draw. What's going to happen to this score gap? Decided to pass on that middle weight.
This is bad. The thing that I'm doing is not good.
Probably looking to block that red dragon for quite a while.
Ah, gee! The player on the left. What an incredible win off the wall!
This will be a repeat of East.
South 1. One
It's like
counter.
Fantasy Strike on a
Dora
moment-to-moment
is the
basis of
one
looking
dots.
at it,
The
it's...
player is South.
It looks like a
Love
fake
to see
trailer
some
mobile
tile
game.
drawing magic here.
Is this a battle
Like
that
they're
can
gonna
be
tell me
won?
how Mafia works.
The player, already 2 tiles to Tempai.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
The player is already 1 tile to Tempai.
It's important to find the best possible weight.
To hear the commentators screaming about Tempai, that's basically Tempai is being 1 away from winning. You only need 1 more tile to complete your
Doubled up on a
hand,
tile that
and you
was
can claim
just
it from
discarded.
whoever you like. Mary Chrysler.
Doubled up on a
I
tile
feel like
that was
there were
just
4 different
discarded.
jokes I could have used to respond to that, and they
Any
all,
calls on
like,
this tile?
crashed at a
Wow,
4-way in my
and the
brain,
player,
and so I just
Tempai.
fell
That call
completely
brings the
silent.
hand a step closer to finishing.
Thank you very much.
Took a pass for now.
I could have gone fucking Tankiwe Medora. That might have been at least a little funny.
What's going to happen to this score gap?
Crashed at a 4-way, just like the new
Can
Dodge
this hand
Chrysler. This
withstand
stream
the
is
heat?
sponsored by
Still
Dodge,
holding back.
the Dodge Chrysler 2022.
The player is there
I've actually
any way-
gotta set up that button.
Making a move here.
That just puts the fucking sponsored by Cox Communications overlay
The player
on my stream.
can't quite get the job done on this hand.
It needs to be covering the whole fucking screen too.
Still no calls.
That 3-pin just doesn't exist, huh? Hey, there's one.
Incredible win off the wall.
This will be a repeat of East.
Jesus, this guy's going on a tear. Okay.
South 1, 2 counters. The Dora is the 1 of cracks. The player is South. The player on the left is in
All right,
first.
3 pairs.
Somebody needs to put a stop to
159,
this
pretty weak,
madness.
Sozu.
What's needed is a roan off the point leader.
A
Let's
roan.
see how this battle unfolds.
579 seems okay.
Any calls on this? Took a pass for now.
135 seems okay.
Doubled up on a tile that
Backfire
was just
isn't real. It
discarded.
can't hurt you. Don't think about it too
The
much.
player on the left continues
I
to
think my
discard
4-player
simple
card
what to
fell
do
out
with
of
this
S
tile.
rank.
Still holding
I
back.
kind of want to play another couple games on it to see if I can overwrite the brutal loss at the very beginning of the card, but I'm worried I'm actually gonna make it worse.
Decided that bans aren't worth chasing.
Draws yet another simple.
Okay, 4, 5.
The player, 1 tile to Tempai.
This
Okay.
hand looks nothing like it did at the start.
I had to work it out with my giant brain for a second.
The player. Is it time? Still no calls.
310, 6-9.
リーチよ
There
It's not
it is.
310, is it?
Each.
That is a
No,
very
it's just,
confident reach.
Yakuba's warning site and hit the reach
The
button.
player on the left.
Nice
is on
fucking game.
Dog eat putts. What a spectacular draw.
A very impressive finish.
Can you force a
I'm
call like this in
simply blown away.
like in poker?
リーチ
Uh,
一発
Generally, if people play defensively over and over again, even if they never deal in, they'll bleed out to sumo payments or to
South
exhaustive
two.
draw.
Vidora is north.
If nobody
The player
wins
is
by the time
east.
there are no tiles left to draw,
The player
then
is
anybody who
coming
was
off a
Tenpai
spectacular
gets
hand.
paid by
This
anybody
is
who wasn't
not an
Tenpai.
easy spot to work around. Any calls
And
on
so,
this
like,
time to
when
pass
somebody
for
is
now?
discarding in a way that makes it look like their hand might be close to ready, or if they've got, like, a lot of scary-looking calls, like, the yellow tiles are worth extra points, and that's determined randomly at the start of the game, basically. So if somebody's got, like, a bunch of open door or something, you gotta make your choice, like, alright, do I push or fold? Do I want to fucking deal with the consequences of dealing into this hand? Do I want to win something cheap to stop it? To, like, try and
The
interrupt it in
player
time?
is already one tile to Tenpai.
Certain tiles will fit
Is
right
my
into
hand
this
worth so much
Others will
that
gradually
I want to
transform.
pursue it even if it like might cost me my life? So that's like your
The player
aggression
on the left
versus
discards
defense.
another dot.
Is that at some point you have to go on the attack if you'll bleed out. You'll just bleed out otherwise. So you got to use the information you have on the table to
The
decide
player. Is there any
when
way
the right
turn
time to
the
attack
tables
is.
here? Look at that.
I could be evil.
リーチよ
I'm on Tenpai.
I'm gonna
The
go
player
ahead
on
and
the
take
right
the
decides to
way
match
more
the player's
dangerous, way less
discard.
likely to come out weight. Because against Ricci, nobody wants to discard a Dora that's nowhere on the
player
table.
on the right
Nobody
is
can
on
see
the
any of those
defense
high-value
against the
tiles, and
player's
because, like,
beach.
the north here as a Dora, it can only be paired up with itself as an honor.
The
So-
player. Can this hand withstand the heat?
With none visible, anybody could be ready to fucking make a call on it.
Is this hand going to end quietly?
I've got to play for value because I'm pretty behind, and
It's an open weight.
we're wrapping up our rounds here.
Can't quite get the job done on this hand.
After party will be tomorrow night or Monday night, right? I'm not sure, actually. It'll be sometime.
Who will seize
It'll
the
be
win
sometime
this
in
hand?
December.
Is this hand
That much I can
easily
promise you.
wins this shootout?
Yes, we went to exhaustive draw here.
Are Tenpai.
Both. That's pretty funny. You had those norths locked up in your hand, waiting for a 5-pin or 8-pin to come out.
South 3. One
So if they had
counter.
thrown either of those, would have been very
Is
bad,
east.
but
The player
there was
is
no way
west.
those were ever going to come out.
Heading into the final hand of the match.
The player has one final chance to make a big move.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out. The player, one step in the road. The player
Great.
on the left makes a call out of nowhere.
By the way, this is the 3-player variation of the game. There's like a lot of different like
The
rules
blade.
variations
That's
depending on where you're
The
playing.
dots are really coming together.
But the most common set of 3-player rules basically removes an entire suit from the game, which makes games like way faster and more explosive because it's easier to build certain types of high-value hands, and overall your hands will come together faster because you can pick up more tiles that are connected to each other on your average draw. Sanma is, I think, correctly characterized as being a mode for
This hand looks
lunatics.
nothing like it did at the start.
リーチよ
There
Alright.
it is. Nietzsche.
That is a very
This won't get me the win, but it'll get me out.
The player on the left.
Thank you very
takes
much.
a beating.
A very impressive finish. I'm very curious about the results here.
I'm simply
Wonder.
blown away.
ピンク E ペアドラワンライン
Alright, so I very nearly got to pay myself back. Alright, that's the card. 457, a solid B rank and dropping. Fucking great. Perish. I'll play a quick round of 4-player in free room to show that off as well.
East 1. The Dora is the 2 of Bams. The player is South.
I'd love to see some tiles.
Yeah, so welcome to the reason I have a fucking Manzu reading guide at the bottom of my fucking screen when I play this game. Because with Sozu and Pinzu, with Bamboo and Dots, you can just count the number of sticks or dots on the tile, and you know what number it is. But for Manzu, you just kind of have to be able to read some Japanese, or like memorize the numbers 1 through 9.
The next few tiles could make a huge difference.
Draws yet another simple.
But yeah, with more players that are pushing for a win, and fewer tiles that can advance your hand,
who's going to make the first
4-player
call
typically
here?
Plays at least a little bit slower and more defensively.
And there's a call.
I can't promise that the people in this client are actually going to defend, because like Sega Net Mahjong, as a place to play, has, I think, correctly earned a reputation for being full of cigarette-burned fucking brain nightmare gambling addicts.
Who's going to pull
People
away
who
from
are
the
actually
pack?
just here to spin the wheel and sit in front of a pachinko machine.
What to do with this time? There it is. The player on the left
Quick.
suffers an unexpected loss.
That was a very quiet start.
East 2. The Dora is the
All right,
2 of
dealer turn
craps.
time.
The player is East. The player on the right is in first.
The point leader is not terribly far away.
This
Some of the
is not an
customizations in this
easy
game,
spot
dude.
to work around.
I know nothing about running a web service at scale, but what
The
if?
player, first place, is well within striking range.
I probably shouldn't have cut that east first, but you know. Maybe I have a little bit of idiot brain in myself as well.
The player on the left makes a... The player across refuses to compromise. The player, 2 tiles to Tempai.
This hand is really beginning to come together.
Any call? Took a pass for now. The player across already calls a second meld. Still holding back.
I don't think
What to
opening
do
this
with
is going to
still
work
no
out.
calls?
I have very minimal faith in that.
The player across continues to discard simples. The player, is it time for a call? How are
Terrible
the players
nightmare brain
going to
limit for
approach
Roblox
this
client
hand?
still exists. I mean, hey, they got you in the hosting department. The rest is a non-stop nightmare from which there can be no escape, and I feel like I missed an opportunity at fucking Chitoy. Or something.
The player on the right drops a pair.
Oh yeah, it wanted me to keep that as a fucking set. My brain.
No
It's
one
the hat,
dares
I'm
to make the
overheating.
first move.
It's a tragedy. I'm actually overheating in this fucking room. Because even though it's like 1 degree outside,
Is this hand going to end quietly?
somehow my room specifically
Look at that Dora.
has like supernatural insulation properties.
The player, 1 tile to Tempai.
Ow. Ow!
The player takes a beating.
I should have been careful
Fine
with
play.
fucking
No
Manzu.
doubt about it.
Hats, Dora, Banker.
Alright, we're done
East
after this
3.
game.
The Dora
I'm
is
catching
the
fire.
6 of dots. The player is north.
I actually just
Player
fixed a
across
fucking
the
bug in
table
Tile
is
Gun
in
today.
first.
Still very
It was
much
just
in a
like,
position
oops,
to
you
win the
left
game.
code in the
stage
client
is
that
set.
shouldn't have been in the client,
Anything can
idiot.
happen.
Nobody fucking plays 2-player in that world anyway, except somebody does, and they sent me a bug report about it. They were very respectful too. It's always nice to see that.
The player on a roll.
This is the point where skill really factors in.
Frey is working on yet more performance improvements for the fucking shotgun calculator,
This hand is really beginning
so it
to
should
come
perform
together.
even better in headset while drawing tiles. And at that point, I feel like we start trying to get performance gains out of fucking, like,
What's going to happen to this
more
score
fundamental things, like the fact that whenever the table receives a game state update, it repositions every single tile by looping through them,
gap? The
which is
player.
slow because
Is there any
Udon.
way to turn the tables here? The player is already one tile to Tempai.
I actually should
It's
have tossed
important
the
to
8
find
pen
the
and kept
best
the 1 there.
possible weight.
Or I should have tossed the, You know, let's just do this. This is at least a little funny, right?
Things are at a standstill.
What might have been.
The air is tense as the players take their turns. Who's going to make the first call here?
Hey, wait a second. Wait a second.
Any calls on this tile?
I can take Tempai here,
Pass
but
for now. The players
what if I
going
just
for it.
didn't?
That tile made it through.
What if I stayed closed for value and fucking died for my hubris?
Not giving up on this one.
I
Save.
really threw that and it actually passed. I am actually just fucking built differently. Okay,
The
that's
player on the
that's
left
way
has
too dangerous to
discarded
throw,
that
but that means I
tile.
should throw it early, right?
Still holding back.
론
There it is.
All right,
The player
freed from the
across
burden of decision making.
suffers an unexpected loss.
With a fine play, no doubt about it.
リーチタイヤをドラドラバンバン
It's Yakitori time.
East 4. The Dora is the 9 of dots. The player is West. Heading into the final hand of the match.
The player can win with a self-drawn Hanuman.
Well, it's hard to know just how this will turn out.
Should have been south first, I think, so I want to get my turn back faster, but
Look at that Dora.
Sort
The
of
player
immaterial.
On a roll.
This is the point where skill
I don't need
really
a particularly
factors in.
large hand to make a comeback here.
The player on the left drops a pair.
Dora 2 plus, like, basically any other value might just do it. But I think I have to stay close to take that route.
What's going to happen to this score gap?
I don't know what the fuck I'm expected to do with that 7-10 if I want to keep the 9s as my pair. One, 3, 5, 5, 6, 9.
The
Monzu
blade.
Nightmare.
Is there any way to turn the tables here?
That 9 Mon probably goes next.
This table is so quiet I could hear a
So I'm in, like, I'm in a 3-pair hand, which is kind of fucking awkward. Can cut
Any
that and
calls on
think
to the
about.
pass for now.
Oh, hello.
The
Alright,
player,
so let's
2
fix the 4
tiles to
pins as the
Tempai.
pair then,
This
and
hand
just,
is
like,
really beginning
take
to
it like
come
that.
What to do with this still holding back.
I'm running out of time to make this work. That's an awful lot of fucking Tadashi tiles. That's 10
Things
discards
are
from
at
hand
a
in a row.
standstill.
What exactly is going on over
The
there?
player, one tile
Now
to
we're back to
Tempai.
pair hell
This
again,
hand
huh?
started out as nothing.
Alright,
and
well,
now it's
plenty of
something.
ways to complete this, but the weight it ends on might be, funny. Also, I'll need to
The
reach
air
it, I
is
think.
tense as the players take their turns.
I can do nothing but push. This is
Who's
this is
going
the
to
terror
make
of
the
last
first
place.
player? Still no call.
There's no use for defense here. 4, 4, 5. I wish I could call that. Fuck.
Oh wow, and there's a call.
Alright. So, Things are looking pretty bad for my odds of actually finishing the hand. There we go.
Suffers an unexpected
Alright, please kill him.
loss.
Please just deal a billion damage. It's Tanyao. Woo! Dang. Alright, it's actually way hotter in here than I gave it credit for, so I think now that I'm done with the fucking ticket, I'm actually gonna fucking peace out, take a hike. I don't know what any of these are. Alright, please enjoy your holidays, y'all. It's been fucking real. I definitely, I'm looking forward to taking a bit of a break after the advent calendar for sure. So, see you in fucking whatever. Take it easy.